Episode 175. Ye Qiu was an unspecialized player, so set equipment held limited value for him. The hidden attributes of sets often boosted class, specific skills, and usually only those above level 20. Lord Grimm doesn't know those skills, so equipping the set would be a waste. The Crimson Moon set he wanted now was a battle mage set. Clearly, he was trying to help Tang Ru earn a little something. Tang Ru was a core member of the dungeon team, but looking at her current gear, it's honestly a bit of a sorry sight. When Ye Xiu and his crew ran dungeons, they were basically a friends and family group. No one fought over loot, but they also didn't have the advantage of a large, organized guild that could pool massive resources. Relying solely on running a few dungeons a day like this, it's incredibly difficult to assemble a full set of ideal gear. Now that I'm level 30, if I don't start pursuing a class set, the gap between me and the elite players from the big guilds will only widen. That's not ideal for my dungeon running career. A gap in stats is a gap. No amount of skill can completely close it. In a low-level dungeon like this, there's a hard limit to how much skill can even matter. Besides, we can't let our guard down against that kid Liu Hao. Who knows when he'll pop up out of nowhere to stir up trouble again.
4 pieces of the Crimson Moon set. Any problem with that?
Hey, don't rush.
Fanhua obviously doesn't have the same clout as the 3 major guild leaders. His available resources, especially gear, are extremely limited. That stuff gets rolled for and snatched up in dungeons right away. Who would hand it over to the guild? Tianqi, they were utterly astonished. They paid little attention to their guild leader, who was busy gathering equipment. Instead, they crowded around and asked in a tone of utter disbelief.
Brother Expert, you're helping our guild break the record.
A fee's a fee. Doesn't matter where I'm grinding.
4 pieces of the Crimson Moon set. Tianqi's an old hand. He knows exactly what they're worth. They'd already gossiped about the price Ye Xiu charged the 3 big guilds for record runs. He'd even asked for orange tier weapons. In comparison, 4 pieces of the Crimson Moon set are just too insignificant. This Crimson Moon set is just blue tier gear after all.
It's not like I'm asking for legendary gear, which your guild probably doesn't even have. Right?
Yeah, we don't.
So I had to settle for less.
Then why get 4 pieces? Why not go for a full set?
That looks like your guild.
Brother Expert, don't hold back on our account. Seriously.
Not really. A record set with just 4 days of Crimson Moon gear won't be that high anyway.
How shameless.
Midnight Moon yelled from the side.
It's only fair. Even if you gave us 6 pieces, our results wouldn't improve much.
Why?
Look, Cold Smoke Soft's weapon is still level 25. And it's not just her. Steamed Bun doesn't have a level 30 purple weapon, or a class set either. This dungeon record can't hit its absolute limit yet.
So, the record we just set will eventually be broken by someone else.
For the average player, the current record is already the absolute limit. If we break this record, no one should be able to catch up.
Should be.
Unless some people are just being bored. Ooh.
As the conversation reached this point, Tianqi and the others were completely lost.
Because he's a pro.
Ye Xiu let them keep puzzling over what made a pro. How could grinding dungeons be boring for a master? Fanhua, that guy, pleaded and persuaded everyone in the guild, talking about prospects and ideals, about the importance of the guild's development. In the end, he actually managed to scrounge up 4 pieces of the Crimson Moon set. Of course, the 4 pieces belonged to 4 different players, and none of those 4 players had a complete set themselves, so losing 1 piece wasn't too heartbreaking.
I'm off to grab my gear. Let's meet at 12.
Even as he spoke, Fang Hao was already running off.
From the sound of it, he was planning to tag along.
Well, obviously, he is the guild leader, after all. Let him have it.
How many spots are there?
Usually just 1.
Tianqi said, turning to Ye Xiu.
Hey, Brother Expert, how many slots are open in the party? Just 1.
Who's coming from your guild?
Probably just our guild leader.
Sure.
Is there anything that isn't allowed?
Yue Xiu glanced at his class. A non-DPS role just wouldn't be as convenient.
Qiang Shengli was practically in tears. He's a knight in MT class, so he's not DPS. This meant that on the television broadcast list for the experts dungeon record team, Qiang Shengli's name would likely never appear on that list.
Ah,
My condolences, my condolences. The others all offered their condolences. Fan Huo finally returned from his trip, bringing back the Crimson Moon set. At this moment, Twilight Cloud and Shallow Departure took their leave and logged off first. These two clearly had busy lives, with limited time for gaming each day. They rarely managed to clear all their daily dungeon runs. Ye Xiu began calling for backup.
Baozi,
Bones here.
we're running the dungeon tonight. To break the record.
we're going on TV. I'm all for it.
Bunny Invasion loved the game.
As midnight approached, Su Muqing logged in right on time, without needing a reminder from Ye Xiu. At the same time, the guild leaders arrived, with Blue River and Night Passage Cold Talk leading the charge as two familiar faces. Their messages came in almost simultaneously. Bro, looks like we can start farming the glazed lands tonight.
How about we start a long-term carry service tonight? You're level 30 now, brother. Time to think about a permanent arrangement, right? And it wasn't just those two sending messages.
Many major guilds had been pestering Ye Xiu these days. What level is Lord Grim now? They knew the daily dungeon count better than Ye Xiu himself. Now that Lord Grim has refreshed his level 30 dungeon attempts, everyone is guessing that tonight will be the night a new record is set in the glazed lands. Everyone's been fighting tooth and nail to see who claimed this record. But one attempt isn't enough. What the major guilds need now is a stable, reliable mercenary team, not one that just slaps their name on it for a day's work. It would be far too embarrassing if they were flying our banner today, only to be listed under another guild's name tomorrow. Ye Xiu, however, was in no hurry to deal with this flood of messages. He simply replied to each one slowly and in turn.
Tonight, we're helping the Moonlit Wheel Guild break their record.
When the name Moonlit Wheel Guild was mentioned, half the major guild leaders were left utterly bewildered. To them, the guilds that come to mind are all backed by professional clubs. Only those are on their radar. As for their rival, the Moonlit Wheel Guild, some had heard of it. But it was certain this wasn't a guild with any backing. It was just an ordinary guild founded by a regular player that had managed to develop fairly well. How could a guild like this, under the siege of so many top-tier guilds, manage to snag Lord Grim? The guild leaders couldn't stay calm. They all started asking what tricks this Moonlit Wheel Guild had pulled. This was pure unadulterated gossip, because guilds at Moonlight Wheel's level don't even have spies. There's no one worth playing the double agent game with. At this point, what inside man could there be? The only option was to see if anyone knew a player from that guild and ask around indirectly. And sure enough, that line of questioning actually got results. After all, the Moon Wheel Guild wasn't like them. When Windblade went to assemble the Scarlet Moon set, he announced it across the entire guild channel, mobilizing the masses. He managed to find 4 battle mages. Each of them sacrificed a piece of their Crimson Moon equipment. The whole guild knows about this. But they didn't see any reason to keep it a secret. Of course, as soon as a friend asked, he spilled the beans. The price tag for the 4-piece Crimson Moon set spread like wildfire, and when all the major guild leaders heard it, they practically coughed up blood in sheer fury.